There comes a moment in every human life when the noise around you becomes quieter, not because the world has calmed, but because it has stopped believing. You look around and realize that the smiles have faded, the encouragement has grown thin, and the hands you expected to hold you are suddenly empty. This is not a curse. This is not betrayal. This is the beginning of truth. When you are struggling, people offer advice. When you are dreaming, they offer laughter. But when you decide to rise, when you choose discipline over comfort and courage over approval, you will notice something painful and powerful. You are walking alone, not because you lack worth, but because strength makes others uneasy. Many do not fear your failure. They fear your success because it reminds them of the battles they never fought. Do not let this loneliness weaken your spirit. Let it sharpen your purpose. History does not remember those who waited for permission. It remembers those who stood firm when no one stood with them. Before victory there is silence. Before respect there is doubt. Before recognition there is rejection. This is the invisible training ground where character is formed. Understand this truth early. Friendship is often tested by outcomes, not intentions. Many will call you a brother when you are winning, but few will call you brave when you are trying. That is why you must learn to walk without applause, to work without witnesses, and to believe without confirmation. If you can remain disciplined when no one is watching, if you can stay honest when no one is rewarding you, if you can keep moving forward when no one is cheering for you, then victory is no longer a question of if, but when. And when that moment arrives, the same world that doubted your journey will suddenly claim to have known you all along. There is a quiet truth that every great journey teaches us, a truth that is not spoken loudly because it is difficult to accept. Growth often begins in loneliness. When you decide to rise beyond your circumstances, when you choose discipline over comfort and purpose over popularity, the crowd begins to thin. Voices that once surrounded you slowly fade, and you may find yourself standing alone. This is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is often proof that you are finally on the right one. Change has a way of unsettling people. It forces them to look at their own lives, their own choices, and the dreams they may have abandoned. Your determination becomes a mirror, and not everyone is ready to face what they see. So they step back, not because you have failed them, but because your growth challenges their comfort. In that moment, silence replaces applause, and solitude replaces support. Do not fear this silence. Silence is not emptiness, it is space. It is the space where character is shaped and resilience is born. In the absence of constant validation, you learn to listen to your own conscience. You learn to measure your progress not by the approval of others, but by the honesty of your effort. This is where true strength is developed, not in the noise of praise, but in the quiet commitment to keep moving forward. Loneliness teaches you self-reliance, but it also teaches you humility. When no one is watching, your actions become your true identity. When no one is cheering, your discipline becomes your true power. In these moments, you discover who you are when the world offers you nothing in return. And that discovery is priceless, because it cannot be taken away by criticism or doubt. History shows us that every meaningful change was carried by individuals who were willing to stand alone for a time. They were misunderstood before they were respected. They were doubted before they were believed. Their solitude was not a weakness, it was preparation. It gave them clarity of purpose and the courage to continue even when the path ahead was uncertain. If you find yourself walking alone today, do not rush to fill that space with noise or distraction. Use it. Let it strengthen your resolve. Let it deepen your understanding of why you began this journey in the first place. Growth demands patience, and patience is learned best when there is no crowd urging you to hurry. One day, your perseverance will speak for you. The same silence that once felt heavy will turn into respect. The same people who step back will wonder how you moved forward without them. When that day comes, remember the lessons of your solitude. Remember that loneliness was not your enemy, it was your teacher. It taught you to stand firm, to walk with dignity, and to grow into the person you were always meant to become. There is a lesson the world teaches quietly. Often without mercy, respect does not follow intention, it follows strength. Many people will listen politely when you speak of your dreams. They may nod, they may smile, and they may even applaud your vision. But when the applause fades, life asks a harder question. Not what you hope to become, but what you have proven you can endure. Dreams are important. They give direction to the soul and meaning to struggle. But dreams alone do not move history, and they do not change the way the world treats you. The world watches your actions more closely than it hears your words. It observes how you stand when you are tested, how you work when no one is encouraging you, and how you respond when progress is slow and recognition is absent. Strength is built in those moments, not announced. Many are willing to celebrate your ideas, but few are willing to respect you until your ideas are backed by sacrifice. This is not cruelty, it is reality. Respect is earned when persistence replaces excuses, when discipline outlasts doubt, and when courage remains steady under pressure. The road to strength is rarely admired while it is being walked. It is only understood when the journey has left visible marks. Do not be discouraged when your dreams are met with indifference. Indifference is not rejection, it is a challenge. It is the world asking you to show your commitment through consistency. Every day you rise and work without recognition, you are answering that challenge. Every time you choose responsibility over comfort, you are building a foundation that cannot be shaken by opinion. Strength is not loud. It does not announce itself or demand attention. It grows quietly through endurance, through restraint, and through the willingness to continue when success feels distant. Over time, that quiet strength begins to speak for you. It shows in your discipline, your integrity, and your results. And when results appear, the world listens differently. Victory does not mean the absence of struggle, it means mastery over it. When you have faced hardship and refuse to surrender your values, you earn something greater than applause. You earn trust, and trust is the root of respect. People may question your dreams, but they cannot deny your resilience once it is proven. Remember this. Do not measure your worth by how many believe in you today. Measure it by how faithfully you work toward your purpose. Respect arrives not when you ask for, but when your journey makes it unavoidable, when your strength is visible, when your actions reflect your words. The same world that once listened politely will begin to listen carefully. And in that moment, your dreams will no longer need explanation. They will have become evidence. There is a dignity in struggle that must never be traded for approval. When you begin a difficult journey, many will question you. Some will doubt your ability, others your intention, and a few will quietly hope that you fail, so their own comfort is not disturbed. In such moments, the greatest temptation is to explain yourself, to seek validation, to ask others to believe in you before you have proven what you can become. Resist that temptation. Strength is not built by begging for support. It is built by standing firm without it. You owe the world no explanation for your determination. Every hour spent trying to convince others is an hour taken away from the work that truly matters. Words may persuade for a moment, but proof persuades for a lifetime. Let your discipline speak when your voice is ignored. Let your consistency answer questions you are too tired to explain. History has never been moved by arguments alone. It has been moved by action sustained over time. Understand this clearly. Doubt is not always born from hatred. Often it comes from fear. People fear what they do not understand, and they struggle to understand a resolve stronger than their own. When you choose the harder path, when you refuse to give up despite setbacks, your persistence becomes uncomfortable to those who chose easier roads. Their disbelief is not a verdict on your future, it is a reflection of their limits. So do not shrink yourself to fit their expectations. Do not slow your pace to keep others comfortable. Walk forward with patience and purpose. Build your strength quietly. Improve when no one is watching. Learn when no one is teaching you. Grow when no one is praising you. This is the work that creates unshakable foundations. There will come a time when the results of your effort can no longer be ignored. Success has a way of changing the language of doubt. Those who once questioned your direction will begin to study your journey. Those who dismissed your struggle will begin to repeat your story. This is not hypocrisy, it is human nature. People understand achievement more easily than effort, outcomes more easily than intention. When that moment arrives, do not allow pride to replace humility. Remember the nights when no one called, the days when progress felt invisible, and the strength it took to continue anyway. Let those memories keep you grounded. True victory is not found in proving others wrong, but in proving yourself faithful to your purpose. Your responsibility was never to convince the world. Your responsibility was to outgrow its disbelief. And when your growth becomes undeniable, you will realize that the absence of early support was not an obstacle, it was training. It taught you independence, resilience, and quiet confidence. These are the qualities that no applause can give and no criticism can take away. Life has a way of revealing truth at moments we least expect. When the road is easy and the days are calm, many people will walk beside you. They will share your laughter, enjoy your company, and call themselves close to you. In comfort, companionship is common, but comfort does not test loyalty. Struggle does not reveal everything, victory does. As you begin to rise, as your efforts turn into results, something subtle begins to change. The same people who once stood near you may grow distant. Some will become quieter, others colder, and a few may disappear altogether. This is not because you have changed your heart, but because success has changed the mirror in which they see themselves. Your progress forces them to confront their own choices, and not everyone is willing to do that honestly. There are those who support you when you are trying, because your struggle feels familiar and safe. But when you succeed, your strength challenges them. It reminds them of the risks they avoided and the courage they postponed. This discomfort is not always expressed openly. Sometimes it appears as indifference, sometimes as criticism disguised as concern, and sometimes as silence. This is how victory reveals true relationships. Do not let this discovery harden you. Let it educate you. Learn to understand that not every companion is meant for every season of your life. Some people are part of your journey, not your destination. Their presence during one chapter does not guarantee their place in the next. Accept this with grace, not resentment. True supporters are not those who praise you loudly, but those who remain steady when your light grows brighter. They do not compete with your success or feel diminished by it. They are not threatened by your growth, because your rise does not make them smaller. These are the people whose belief is not conditional on your position. They are rare and they are precious. Victory also teaches you responsibility. When you succeed, you gain influence, and with influence comes choice. You must choose humility over arrogance, gratitude over bitterness, and wisdom over revenge. It is easy to become proud when you realize who doubted you. But pride closes the heart, while humility keeps it strong. Remember that your success is not a weapon, it is a testimony. Do not measure relationships by numbers or noise. Measure them by consistency and sincerity. Those who remain when there is nothing to gain are the ones who truly see you. And those who step away when you succeed are not enemy. They are simply honest reflections of where their journey ends and yours continues. Victory does not mean you have arrived at the end. It means you have learned who can walk with you further. Accept that lesson with calmness and dignity. Walk forward without hatred, without apology, and without fear. For in understanding who stands with you after you win, you gain clarity, freedom, and the strength to continue your journey with purpose. True victory is not measured only by how far you rise, but by who you become when you rise. Success has the power to elevate a person, but it also has the power to expose them. It reveals whether your struggle refined your character or merely sharpened your pride. The world will watch you most closely, not when you are fighting to stand, but when you are finally standing tall, when you have endured hardship, rejection, and doubt. Bitterness can feel justified. You may remember the closed doors, the silence, the absence of support. You may remember how easily people dismissed your efforts and questioned your worth. In those moments, bitterness whispers that success should be used as revenge, that power should be used to humble those who once doubted you. But bitterness is a heavy burden. It does not punish others. It poisons the one who carries it. Integrity is the quiet strength that refuses to be corrupted by victory. It is the decision to remain grounded when applause grows loud and influence expands. Integrity reminds you that your journey was not only about reaching a destination, but about learning restraint, patience, and compassion along the way. If success costs you your humility, then it has taken more than it has given. When you rise, you will be tempted to define yourself by comparison, to look back at those who stayed behind and measure your worth against their approval or regret. Resist this temptation. Your success is not diminished by another's doubt, and it is not strengthened by another's failure. Real power does not need enemies to prove itself. It does not need to remind others of past mistakes. It stands calmly, knowing its value without demanding recognition. Humility does not mean forgetting your struggle. It means honoring it by remaining human. It means remembering that your strength was built through support you did not always see, through lessons you did not always understand, and through patience you were forced to learn. Humility allows you to lead without arrogance and to succeed without cruelty. Winning with integrity also means choosing forgiveness over resentment. Forgiveness is not approval of what was done to you. It is freedom from being controlled by it. When you forgive, you release yourself from the past and allow your future to be guided by purpose, not pain. This does not make you weak. It proves that your spirit is stronger than your wounds. Let your success become an invitation, not a threat. Let it inspire rather than intimidate. When people see that your rise has not hardened your heart, they learn that strength and compassion can exist together. This is leadership in its truest form. In the end, history remembers more than achievements. It remembers character. Titles fade, applause quiets, and victories become moments in time. But integrity endures. Rise, yes, but rise with grace. Rise with humility. Rise in a way that leaves no enemies behind, only lessons learned and dignity preserved. That is the kind of victory that cannot be taken away.